line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. finish line. Check the radio.
And hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Pedal to the Metal Racing League here on PTM Racing TV. We are live here tonight at Dover International Speedway for our main event for the ARCA series, as we are showcasing over 15 drivers here tonight looking to try and claim victory here tonight for the first time, or maybe for another time, as they try to get more points into the series and get more towards being into the championship hunt. Hi again, everyone. I'm Christian the Crusader Shriver. Welcome back to PTM Racing TV. And now, as we get ready to go here, let's get them situated on through here and get them on around the track. Let's go ahead and look at our field of drivers here tonight. We'll start them on the pole. That'll be the 17 of Jonathan Atkins. Run number 2, we're going to see the number 8 of Keith Taylor. Run number, or the outside of him. Run number 2, we will see Robert Kahn in the 487 Mopar machine, with the 20 of Jeffrey Oakes ailing right behind him in the Thor spot. Row 3 will be the 6th there of Christopher No Shift, don't call for calling man Pit Pendle. And at his outside will be Cindy Taylor in the number 7. Row 4, we're going to see Matthew Hofford in the 84, and at his outside is going to be the 11 of Warren Young. Row 5, we see Chantel the Throttle Bottle in the 5, and her outside the 13 of Cooper Rollins. Row 6, we're going to see the 999 of Ian Yeager. To his outside will be the 30 of Dustin Rouse. Row 7, we're going to see Dustin Slonaker. To his outside, Shane Ledoux in the 55. And shotgun in our field tonight will be the 3 of Lance Brantlinger. Jeffrey Oakes kind of falling high in the pack here, getting on her own. We're burning our way. Here we go. Green flag flies. They're going to go. Short track racing, the Monster Mile, looking to take some place. On around we go here at turn 2 already. Off to a strong start is the 47 there of Robert Kahn, building on through there with the 6 of Christopher No Shift, don't ever call the man Pit Pendle. They back him on around out of turn 3, back on down into turn 4 here. Here comes Robert Kahn now, starting to challenge up the throttle here, trying to get up there with Jonathan Atkins. Atkins already off to a strong start here. Brothers Cindy and Keith Taylor are going to do a war here a little bit as they come on around out of turn 2 here. This being a short track, don't expect too many side-by-side battles right away. You're going to see them kind of tame these cars in, start to get them situated out, and let them loose later. Throwing them on through. Here we go here. Battle for 7th here as Warren Young now is being challenged up there by the 5 of Chantel the Throttle Bottle. One thing you're going to see a lot of here, in my opinion, is going to be a lot of tendencies to overdrive when they shouldn't be, and underdrive when they shouldn't be either. This track is very hard to master and very hard to figure out on a long-term setup. Considering this also is the iRacing default, this is going to really play more to the advantage, I believe, for those that really were figuring out how long they can last, how long they can go. So a long run, in my opinion, is going to be the biggest kicker here tonight. As they bring him on around out of turn 4 here. Look at this now. Robert Kahn has got close enough to Jonathan Atkins. Atkins trying to get a big run on him, but Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle, and the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn are already on the hunt, challenging up his pursuit. Kimberly S. Atkins has joined us on in, rooting on her boy there, Jonathan Atkins. Atkins right now got a pretty good line here going in through. Still battling on by out of turn 4 here. Looks like Robert's not quite able to get the momentum he's wanting to carry there out of those turns and out of those corners. That could play more into the favor there. Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle there in the 16. I know it says 16 on the screen there, but just like Robert, we've had some technical difficulties on getting those cars the way they're supposed to look, but that's okay. They sold me earlier. They don't mind. They just want to keep everything like the way they like it. On around we go here on the front straightaway here. The battle is heating up between our leader here, Jonathan Atkins, and Robert Kahn, as well as Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle. Can Big Smoke be able to hold off some drivers here and keep up the position? There's trouble there for Chantel the Throttle Bottle. She's already got damage on the rear end of that thing. Looks like may have been a little bit of a spin around for her. Caution was not called. She's back under round. Well, there is definitely trouble right now for her. Through they carry around about at turn 2 here. Robert Kahn now desperately trying to build up momentum to get a by. Atkins going to the outside, inside row. Chantel a little loose there. Up into the wall. Trouble there. Watch out back down there. Watch out. Watch out. God. Keith Taylor gets involved in that one, and unfortunately that was a huge wreck to say the least here. Caution is out. Caution is out. Oh boy, that was a hard lick there for Chantel and Keith Taylor there. Let's go to the PTM instant replay and find out more about this situation. Let's figure out where the first part came in. I want to know exactly where did it all start here in this case for her, because she definitely had got loose in trouble there. Yep, looks like we found our little key here. Let's go ahead and show you what happened here. So this was the first part here. This is what got the damage on the rear end there. Car's not quite wanting to steer in, having troubles. Tries to save it. Can't quite get to the rear there. And then all of a sudden try to get it rear racked around, and unfortunately everything else just did not go the way they were hoping for in that 5 machine. Here they come down the back straightaway. Here's where the accident happened. Gets up into the wall there, tries to get it off, and you can't really get it cornered in there that well out of turn 3, and that definitely proves why there. And unfortunately, starting the chain reaction that led to Cindy and then Keith Taylor just kind of trying to back off, unfortunately. Takes a hard lick and a half there. So our field works them on in. Drivers already opting into pit road there. I can tell you right now, folks, there is not a multitude of tires they can use tonight. They've only got a select 5 tire sets they can use. They cannot be doing too much of this tonight. They've got, unless they're going in for some gas, they've got to be aware of that, and they've got to be careful as well. This to me tonight will showcase who is smart at handling long-term versus short-term strategy. And 120 laps on this track tonight, that's definitely going to prove something, in my opinion, to how well they can hold out and how they will be hanging in there. Dennis Whitmer has joined us on in, rooting on for Pendle. Dennis, it's good to have you on board here. Same as well, of course, too, Kimberly. Great to have you guys aboard here. Well, don't go anywhere, though, folks. We will be right back. We got to get into a little commercial message from our sponsors here tonight. Tonight's race is sponsored in part by our good friends over at Matt Mills Racing Team. The best Xfinity team out there is sponsoring and supporting Pedal to the Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing today, be sure to follow them up at Matt Mills Racing Matt Mills Racing on Facebook and Twitter and now Instagram. By Mid-Cities Air Conditioning and Heating. Ever find yourself in need of a little bit of heating and cooling units to be fixed in Keller or Richland, Texas? Stop on over to Mid-Cities Heating and Cooling for a troubleshoot. They'll get the job done right the first time. By Affordable SEO and Marketing, with services provided like web design, pay-per-click advertising, logo design, business cards, shirts, hats, pins, candy, and more. It's time you outrank your competition online today. And by Amber's Floral Creations. Amber's Floral Creations is if you're looking for those special flowers for that special someone, be sure to visit and call up Amber's Floral Creations at 321-228-3135. As we get them situated out here, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of time here to be wasted, a lot of time to be battled on through. A lot of drivers are definitely trying to see if they can get this car situated out here. This track is so easy to mess up on, so easy to get loose on, and it's definitely been shown before how hard it will be when they run extremely hard, too much, too little, too quick. Well, Ian Yeager in that 999 is opted to stay out, so is Dustin Rouse in the 30, and the 13 of Cooper Rollins. I would presume that's more or less for a tire saving strategy that they have in mind, but now when you got Big Smoke Jonathan Atkins kind of leading them on in, this might be an interesting restart here, folks. Whitmer saying Pendle was my team captain on Heat 5. Well, it's good to have you aboard here, and I think your team captain's definitely been holding out his own way in iRacing compared to the likes of Heat 5, I'll tell you that much. So the one to go has been initiated here. The 999 of Ian Yeager, the 30 of Dustin Rouse, and the 13 of Cooper Rollins stayed out. Chantel, the throttle pile, has been gifted her lap back. She will have that. And Keith Taylor getting back his wreckage there as well. So he is situated out, which means these drivers will be ready to go this time by. The intensity starting to brew. We're only about 12 laps in out of this 120 lap ordeal. This is going to be something if they can get this one worked on around. The Monster Mile, as they know it here at Dover International Speedway. This track has laid waste and host to many events and many sporting shows, and I can tell you right now, this is definitely going to be one of the more interesting ones, depending on who is being able to fight through this one and figure out how to run better than the other. They'll carry them on around out of turn 3, then they'll go into turn 4, and we let them loose after that. If you guys haven't already, share us on around. And also, If you guys are on Instagram, we are now on Instagram too. Follow us over at PTM_Racing_TV, and we'll be able to chit chat with you guys there and get to know you a little bit more too from there. Not just Twitter or Facebook anymore, on YouTube. We're going green flag racing here. Right on around we go here out of turn 1, back on down turn 2. Here comes the big smoke himself, Jonathan Atkins, trying to get past traffic here, trying to get those fresh tires put to work. Here comes a 6th there, Christopher No Chef, don't call him Pip Pendle. To the outside goes Atkins, he has to go up high there as Ian Yeager gets it right in on about. They battled it on through here. Here comes Pendle. Pendle in the Valvoline number 6 now has a hard charge coming his way. He's looking to make a move there around that 17 of Atkins. To the inside line goes him, but he's got a problem. He's got Dustin Wrapz right in front of him, and a 3-1 salute almost initiated there. Wrapz backs off, knowing he can't quite hang with these guys right now. Pendle now hard charges his way through out of turn 4. He leads him on by. Jonathan Atkins right now, your points leader in the championship duos. Keith Taylor already damaged on the back of that car there. Let's go to the replay and find out about that. What happened exactly here? Let's take another look at it. Let's see right here. We'll go on board. Let's take a look at the situation here. Looks like he gets right into the wall there out in the back stretch. Can't quite get it off. He stays out of the way in trouble of everybody. Unfortunately, though, just takes the lick. He already took one lick, and unfortunately, now he's taken a couple of them. Right back on around we go. Here they are still at it all here, and right back on down. Now you see Robert Kahn and the Rattlesnake falls back a little bit, trying desperately to get some momentum carried on through. A little loose there out of turn 4, managing to hold it on. You see the drivers working them on by and working them on through here. Trouble there for Chantel, the throttle yet again. The 5 machine not having any luck tonight. Now a lap down, unfortunately, with Keith Taylor, as the 2 drivers right here, Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pip Pendle, and Jonathan Atkins, still battling for what they can here, doing everything they got to catch up to one another. We're on board here with Pendle. I want you guys to take a close listen and look at how hard they have to try to keep that car in stable condition and still find a way to get a good run off that exit. Whoa, and you can see Pendle getting a little bit up into the wall there. Couldn't quite clear it. Definitely spotted some trouble there. Dustin Wrapz right now still in 3rd. As Sidney the Colder Taylor in that number 7 machine doing a pretty good job right now, hanging with these guys, doing what you can. Meanwhile, that 47 of Robert the Rattlesnake on. The Mopar 47 machine is doing his own thing right now, just kind of laying low, staying in his position. See him, maybe he'll get something later on here. Cindy kind of running that middle line where Robert's trying to get the bottom line. If you get as low as you can to that bottom, you have a much better run and much better accuracy to get by through there. And it definitely makes up time and ground later on, but right now, as you see them coming off the line out of turn 4 here, everybody is still giving what they can as Robert gets right into the wall there. But Dustin Wrapz having to slow up a little bit. Tires are starting to tighten up. He's overdriven it a little bit, unfortunately, and now those tires are completely gone. Remember what I said earlier, you got about 10 laps of full throttles assaults you can do to those tires before this thing just tightens up on you in a hurry. And unfortunately, that's right now the case here as we continue them through. Cindy, the Closer Taylor, is still being eyed there by that 47 of Robert the Rattlesnake Kahn. Through, you see the momentum starting to shift maybe towards Robert off the draft, that is. He's looking for the inside line there around Cindy to get a 3rd place spot up here. Around and around they go here at turn 4 here, still battling on through. Neither one wanting to quit. Robert desperately trying to get in the inside line, but because of that short track racing mentality, it's easier said than done to do that. On back around though, now Robert finally gets the run there he's looking for. He carries it on through here out of turn 3, back on through her. Here he goes. Cindy, the Closer, has been passed on by, and now she's got some work to do. As Lance Brentlinger in that number 3 machine, the Goodwrench powered machine, is working him on by as well. Hoping to maybe get something going here. Hoping to get something figured out. Got trouble though. 2 cars wrecked, horribly damaged up. Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pip Pendle. The 2nd place man has been wrecked on in. Let's go to the replay and find out what happened here as the caution now came out. Not sure what happened exactly, but I think we'll figure it out from the 66 of Dustin Sonaker here. Trouble there on that turn. He gets into the wall, sends it up high, and I think he's trying to get out of trouble here. Can't quite get it restarted, and the driver, they're trying to get out of the way. Holy smokes. Oh, man. That is a hard hit there for Christopher Pendle. Let's go on board here with him. See what he's trying to do, and then unfortunately it was too late. And, oh. Yeah, thank God there's 3 instant repairs right now because that car is toast. Ouch. So they'll bring him on around and get situated out. And now Jonathan Atkins has got the little worry going on of Robert in the background. Depending on how they come out of pit road here. The 5 of Chantel Thrall Powell will get her a lap back. The 11 of Warren Young is staying out. I don't think there's any damage up on that machine there. We're looking it on by on the car. No damage seems to be there. Car looks alright. Looks good. So it looks like we'll just get them situated out here, and then we'll get back to green flag racing in just a minute. The 17 of Jonathan Atkins, though, will be the man to beat. Tonight's race also is sponsored and powered by our good friends over at Bob's Custom Trophies Incorporated. Bob's Custom Trophies is flying up the trophies for the winners of each season. If you're looking to get the best hardware or decoration gift for your friends, family, or loved ones, set up your way, you visit up www.bobscustomtrophies.com today to get just that. And if you're wondering what kind of hardware we're talking about, if you're just now seeing these for the first time, not like I haven't brought them up multiple times, these are the beautiful pieces of hardware they are going to be working for this season. Each driver, one in each series, will be able to be granted one of these trophies, and I'll tell you right now, I've seen and held them in my own hands. I'm jealous whoever wins that, but nevertheless, thank you again to Bob's Custom Trophies Incorporated and gifts. Thank you again, guys. And then, of course, over from simracingmerch.com, the one-stop shop for all your sim racing merchandise needs, including shirts, hats, mugs, and more. I visited them up at simracingmerch.com to get that sim racing swag on. I've got some incredible stuff my way, and it's awesome, and it looks great, and you guys will love it too. Visit them up at simracingmerch.com. And also by our good friends over at Pottlez Wrapz. If you're looking to have your car or truck match the style on the track, then be sure to hit up Pottlez Wrapz for just that. It's such a low and affordable price. You can get your creation brought to life on the track. So what are you waiting for? Visit Pottlez Wrapz today to bring your ideas to life. So as we bring him on around, Atkins, well, let's just say right now, I think he's going to be a happy man because he's got to start the outside of Warren Young on burnt tires here. And then Robert is going to have to try to find a way around him here. Now, I am no one for drama, but in this case, I'll make a little exception because tonight, Atkins has been talking up a little bit of a big game here. So he has pretty much put himself into the bounty hole, as we like to call it around here. He has a bounty on his head tonight to race and beat on the track. So Atkins right now currently in pretty good condition right now, still holding out, but he does have that little bounty on him that he is aware of, and he does would not, and I guarantee he would not like too much to be delivered that bounty goods on him. But I can tell you one thing, Robert Kahn definitely would like to get him on it, and so would Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Bendel, and that 6 machine Valvoline. If you guys are wondering at home, why does he have the Valvoline 6 machine on there? Well, it actually, he wasn't able to get the car painted and decorated out in time after his league races, so he has to run that scheme tonight. There's a few guys out here that still haven't been able to get their schemes changed like they've been telling me, like the 47 there, Robert Kahn. We talked with him earlier about it, and we've also talked with him about the race, and he did tell me earlier, like, yeah, man, I've been fighting hard, but I haven't really won here in a while, and I would like to get another win again. Which is kind of funny because he's already kind of won already a couple of weeks ago and had a good battle there at Texas Motor Speedway, taking his home spot there. Kimberly Atkins still joining us on in, saying, hello, Lordy. And Dennis Whitmer still doing extended St. Pendle back to the 5. Yep. Currently in 5th right now as the rest of our field works them on by. We are going to go green flag racing this next time around. They have to re-rack, restack, and all that of these drivers. You can see everybody just kind of tightening the bolts, tightening up the straps a little more, and getting ready for this race run here. You see Justin Sonaker coming on around, finally getting it back out around. He'll coming around out of turn 2 here. That was who the field was waiting for. Had a little bit of damage up on that 66 machine. He couldn't quite get it back into pit road, so he had to have a little tow and a little help. And it looks like Ian Yeager is getting put in the back as well here. This is getting kind of interesting to see how they're going to play this one out. But as they bring him on around, looks like we're going to get him situated through here. Now looks like Matthew Hoffert getting back into line and into position here. The drivers are set. They're ready to go here. Top 4 will bring him on around here. Warren Young leads them on in. They will set the tone for this restart. Green flag's out. We're back underway. 1/4 of the way here so far. Been some pretty good battles here and there, but now it's time to start really showcasing what they can do here. On around we go here, back down side by side. Here comes the 17 of Jonathan Atkins to the outside there, Warren Young. Warren trying to defend. Oh! Atkins gets right into Warren Young there. Trouble there, big trouble indeed, and unfortunately right now, these drivers all over the place, and caution has come on out. Well, we'll get the replay up here real quick. Sorry about that, folks. We'll see what the heck happened here on that restart. What maybe caused that situation to come on through. Another look at it from another angle here. Let's see, Warren kind of drifts up just a little bit. Atkins, I think, was trying to go to the inside line there around him. And unfortunately, the Speed Society 11, oh man, he just took a lick and a half there, unfortunately, causing the caution to come on out. Atkins couldn't quite clear him there and had some damage as well on him, which that is definitely going to set him back just a hair or two. So they'll bring him on around in the front straightaway here, and hopefully we can get this one situated out and back underway. This has definitely been a little bit of a hard track for the drivers to kind of really maintain and secure. I mean, if there's one thing we've learned back from the heat days, is that this track is definitely no joke when it comes to the feel and look of it. But on iRacing, compared to what you can do with the cars there from heat, iRacing, with these cars and everything in general, you can't really touch them or get into one another too often than not. You've really got to be patient with these things, and you've got to stay out of trouble, if at all possible. Russ Rouse will get his lap back. Some other drivers getting their laps back as well. Jonathan Atkins right now, I gotta believe, probably not too big of a happy camper in this case, considering where he's gonna have to start at here. Looks like he has gone in pit road, so he's gonna get another set of tires there. I really am not sure why these guys are going in for tires so early. They could be going in for gas as well, or just to fix damage up, but I mean, in my opinion, you don't want to really take too much time out there and really try to waste them, because you need to stay focused on how to control that car and how to handle it later. Any slight bit of damage, I know, can really affect the ARCA cars, but it's one thing I've learned running these things is that those tires are more important in my opinion when it comes to everything else. So I don't know, I could be very wrong here, and I could be just kind of shooting my mouth where I shouldn't be, and you know, that could be that. But right now though, on this restart here, it'll be Robert Kahn, Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle, Cindy Taylor, the closer, Shane Ledoux in the 55, and the 3 of Lance Brantley will be your top 5 guys and gals. Points are definitely going to be a big affection here, and definitely are going to be the biggest cause for exclusive driving and exclusive battles here. If you guys are wondering at home, well, how many more laps and times do these guys have here? Well, the thing is that week-wise, we're in week 6 already. We're halfway through this entire season. The next time we come to you, it won't be till 2 weeks from now, because we're gonna have an off week for Thanksgiving, of course. But on the 29th, we're going to another short track. We're heading to my hometown. We're going to Iowa Speedway. We're going to have a 120 lap race there. Then we got quite a few big races coming up with Bristol after that, Kansas. And then you got 2 off weeks to celebrate Christmas and the New Year, of course. And then Southern National on January 3rd, which then leads into January 10th for Chicagoland, and rounding out our field at Michigan for the 100 lap end of season race. So yeah, the holidays kind of screwed us over on having the races to be dealt with, but you know what, that's just how it is sometimes. And then the next time you see our late model drivers, we will be heading on over from Myrtle Beach. We're heading to Irwindale for a 120 lap ordeal there. That should be something. Irwindale is a track we've never showcased on here before, and I can't wait to showcase it to you guys. Fun little track to see and fun little track to watch. Should be good stuff. As they bring him on around out of turn 4, this next time by, the drivers will have their way and they'll have their spot. Can Pendolf get the run off of that start away from Robert, or can Robert Kahn get himself another chance at a trip to victory lane? Here we go. We'll bring him on down out of turn 4. Green flag flies. We're back underway. And already off the start, no surprise here. Robert Kahn already challenges on in out of turn 2. Pendle to the back of him, trying to make a jump, trying to make a maneuver here. They continue it on around here out of turn 3, back on into turn 4. Robert trying to hold him off here, trying to stay ahead of the curve while Pendle gets the inside line opened up. He wants that spot. These guys are going to full throttle assault it all the way through if it means to keep each other at bay. But the more they keep battling, the more they can just open the door up there for Cindy the closer Taylor and that number 7 machine. Caution is out, caution is out, caution, caution. Trouble there for Shane Ledoux and trouble for Dustin Sonaker. Let's go to the replay and find out more about this situation. I'm not sure what's going on out there, but there definitely seems to be a little bit of problems out there. Whoa. Atkins got caught up in kind of some traffic there, and it looks like Ledoux is having all sorts of issues. Got loose there on the front straightaway. Oh man, tries to get off there out of turn 1. Tagged Chantel, and unfortunately that was pretty much the end of that one there for him. Let's go on board here with the number 5 and show you guys what they saw when they had that come on out. You see right there, Sheila, they're just getting it right down, trying to keep it off that area, but nowhere to go, and unfortunately, huge damage up on that 5 machine. Some drivers are just not catching any breaks, and some of them are just absolutely having a hard time staying ahead of the situation and staying ahead of trouble. So we are now 1/3 of the way there. Robert Kahn leads them on in with now Cindy the closer Taylor in 2nd, Brandlinger in 3rd, 4th the late model feature winner a couple of weeks ago, Matthew Hoffert, looking to possibly get himself a trip to victory lane here. And then of course the 1104 Young up in 5th right now, Cooper Rollins, the 13 to 20 of Jeffrey Oakes, and Jonathan Atkins right behind all of them here, and Ian Yeager in that 999 with Dustin Ralphs behind him. Fresh set of tires coming up from no pit from Christopher Pendle there. There is a lot of racing to be had here, guys. There's a lot of time to get back into this, but they've got to stay focused. They've got to start really understanding the track, because right now the track is winning. You know, for those at home that have said, well, why are they trying to overdrive and why are they trying to get too aggressive? Well, the thing is, like I said, there's points on the line, there's money on the line, there's gifts, prizes, and all that on the line here. These guys and gals want nothing more than to become a champion. They want to be able to, you know, get the opportunity to get something that they want out of this. And when you got a lot of hard racing and hard battles there, you put them on a short track like this, and I'm going to tell you right now, unless you're on, you know, a late model or on a super late model, or you're messing around with dirt, short track racing is a very difficult, and I mean very difficult thing to master when you got this kind of horsepower out on the track. I've said it before and I'll say it again, you know, when you're running truck series, you know, you have a little more stability, you can start figuring those things out a little bit more, and they got a lot of heavy weight to them to kind of keep the car at bay. These ARCA cars, they're more like, to me, they're more like dragsters. They don't have any grip or any spot that they can really turn in. They almost are just better at doing straight line racing. So what that means is they've really got to start focusing on trying to balance out that feel in that area so that they may be able to get a good run or two on, you know, these setups. So, but, you know, we'll see here. We got quite a few laps left, and if these guys have been going in and get those tires, man, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to regret that later, because if they run out of their 5 sets, that's it. They don't get them back. Also, they only have 50% of fuel, so they also are trying to worry about fuel as much as they are trying to worry about, you know, having to use up its repairs on damage they've got. But nevertheless, as they bring him on around out of turn 2 here, this next time by, we go back to green flag racing here. There is a lot of battling to be had and a lot of time to go for these drivers, and there's some of them right now, you can just tell they're eating themselves away, thinking about trying to get that first win in or trying to get some elusive points here. And how about this, folks? 2nd and 3rd right now. Yeah, you want to know something about them? They're the season champion for each series last season. Cindy Taylor in that Legend Series winning it in the 7 and the 3 of Lance Brantlinger, managing to come home with the Street Stocks Championship. There is a lot on the line for these drivers and a lot at stake as they continue on around out of turn 4. Let's see what they've got in mind here. Here we go. We're back underway. Let's get back to green flag racing. Coming on around out of turn 1, back on down to turn 2. Now Atkins, look at him there. Hard charge right in the back here. He got really close there with Oaksy. Now looking to get the inside line there away from Jeffrey. Jeff Oaks now opens up the door and gives him the opportunity. Cindy the closer Taylor on Warren tires. Falling behind here as Warren Young in the 11 makes a huge jump in there. Same with Matthew Hoffman, that 84 now trying to get up there with these guys as they bring him on around out of turn 2. Wow! Trouble everywhere! Spraylinger, he gets into the wall and right into the 11. Oh no! And Cooper Rollins gets a nice nudge and a half there and takes the lick and the beating. The caution's coming out. Oh boy, let's go ahead and look at that one again. Now look at it from another angle here. Let's see what happened here. Brandlinger gets up into the wall. He's trying to get off, gets loose, and Warren was trying to get trying to get to the inside of him and take that spot away, and unfortunately nowhere to go. Chantel barely dodging that one as well. She got out of harm's way pretty quick there, but oh man, hard damage on there and not what you wanted to see there from these drivers. All right, well, folks, we're going to have to go back under yellow and And Robert Kahn this time now is going at pit side, so will Jonathan Atkins. I gotta believe Atkins right now is just thinking about trying to sneak on in his way here and try to figure this one by. Looks like Pendle will stay out there as well as Matthew Hopford, so that could be a really interesting start here for these drivers. Ian Yeager on that 989 will stay out, so will Dustin Rouse in the 30 and the 5 of Chantel Throttle Bottle. And of course Keith Taylor in the 8 and the 66 there, Dustin Solnaker. The rest have gone in pit side here to get either a fresh squeeze of gas or a whole set of Goodyears for them. Well, nevertheless, guys, we'll be right back here. We're gonna cut a commercial break to talk with our sponsors. Nice race sponsoring by, of course, also our good friends over at Matt Mills Racing Team. Best Xfinity team out there sponsoring and supporting Pedal to the Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing today, be sure to follow them up at Matt Mills Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Mid-City's Air Conditioning and Heating. Ever find yourself in a little bit of a heating and cooling units to be fixed in Keller, Richland, Texas? Step on over to Mid-City's Air Conditioning and Heating. For a troubleshoot, they'll get the job done right the first time. Buy affordable SEO and Marketing. With services provided like web design, pay-per-click advertising, logo design, business cards, shirts, hats, pens, candy, and more. It's time to outrank your competition online today. And by Amber's Floral Creations. Amber's Floral Creations. If you're looking for some special flowers for that special someone, be sure to visit and call up Amber's Floral Creations at 321-228-3135. By Bob'sCustomTrophies.com. Bob's Custom Trophies supplying up the trophies for the winners of each season. If you're looking to get the S hardware set up your way, visit www.bobscustomtrophies.com. Also, check out their gifts, decorations, decor for your friends and family out there. By SimRacingMerch.com. The one-stop shop for all your sim racing merchandise needs, including shirts, hats, mugs, and more. Be sure to visit SimRacingMerch.com today. Get your sim racing swag on. And by Pottlez Wrapz. Looking to have your car, truck, vehicle match your style on the track? Then be sure to hit up Pottlez Wrapz for just that. At such a low and affordable price, you can get your creation brought to life on the track. So what are you waiting for? Visit up Pottlez Wrapz today on Facebook for more information. The 84 of Hoffert will lead him on by. This next time around, we are going green flag racing here. There is a lot at stake for these drivers and a lot going through their minds. And at this point, the first half, well, let's be honest, I don't sugarcoat things here on PTM Racing TV. I'm always fair and share to the end, but I won't sugarcoat anything. Right now, first half not going the way I believe any driver or any fan was expecting here. But you know, it is early, so we've seen it a couple weeks ago and last week as well, that first half may not be so good, but that second half can take over as long as they get things figured out and situated on a round. All it takes is just a little bit of run and a little bit of leeway, and they've got this thing figured out. So there is time, there's plenty of time. But my question to the driver is, when is the right time to start realizing we got to start paying attention more on how we hit our spots and how we hit our runs here? That, to me, is what's going to determine our race winner here tonight. So continuing him on around here, guys. We'll bring him on by, get him situated here out of turn 4 this time around. We're going back to green flag racing here. Can Pendle get a jump there on Hoffert? Or can Hoffert hold him out just a little long here for this one? Bring him on the front straight, away we go. Green flag race flies. We're back underway. Working him on by it around out of turn 1, back down into turn 2 here. Hoffert off to a strong start there around Pendle, but Pendle now has got a full throttle assault coming to the inside. Led off really good there and made his position known. He made his presence felt. He's got that race lead away, but here comes Robert Kahn down the Rattlesnake. The 47 Mopar machine moves it ahead there around Dustin Rouse in the 30. The 999 of Ian Yeager now moves it on through the inside line. He builds up momentum to take over for 4th. Top 5 right now are in a pretty much a standstill, battling by Jonathan Big Smoke Atkins at 17, looking to try to hang with him. As a 7 of Cindy, the Closer Taylor now moves on in. She's starting to make some moves here. Through we go here now. Warren Young, after that little incident there he had there, Lance Braylinger, he's starting to make a pretty good run and a pretty good case scenario to catch up to this one. Right on around we go here, back on in now. 2-foot Closer defends the bottom off away from Warren Young. Warren's desperately trying to get a move on there. Out of the wall, he gets out of turn 4. That doesn't seem to affect him too much. Not a lot of damage there. Right on around now, Grouse trying to defend. Oh, gets a little loose there out of turn 2. Opens the door up. Cindy the Closer closes in on the lead. 4 spot. She's in 5th right now, but she's got a long way to go. And take a look at this right now. The 6 of Christopher Pendle has got a nice lead and a half going his way here. Robert the Rattlesnake Gone trying to pursue him inside here. Everybody getting situated out and around. The 7 of Cindy Taylor now bouncing on through here, trying to make a jump there on the inside line there around the round 99 of Ian Yeager. Yeager gets some room. Gives her room, gives her a chance, and she takes that pass on by. Nicely done. Warren Young now in the 11 now, trying to challenge him on through here, trying to see if maybe he's got something coming for these drivers. Warren looking at the inside line, trying to make a pass on by, trying to get back the time he lost earlier. Yeager opens the door, yet Warren backs off a little bit. He has to bring it back down to the bottom. Those hills, you see those drivers kind of bouncing around there. Those are hills and little cliffs there they actually have to climb up and around on. That's what makes it so hard there for these drivers to get a good run in a good position to stay in it. They overdrive them just a little bit, and that's going to cost them big time. As the 84 now, Matthew Hoffert being passed on by the Closer, Cindy Taylor taking over for 4th. Big Smoke, Jonathan Atkins in the 3rd spot right now as Robert Kahn, we go on board here with him. You can just see how hard he is fighting that car to stay right onto the bottom apron strip and bring it up to the top side there, that turn 4. You can see what Pendle's trying to do. He's trying to kind of stay loose, trying to stay tight on the track, but you can see the car is starting to tighten up really bad here, and it's starting to make some troubles here for him. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him later, as right now the Closer, Cindy Taylor, is starting to close in on the Atkins here. The 11 of Warren Young now swinging it back down low. Hoffer gives him an opening here. He swings it on by. Side by side, they take it on the front stretch. Warren Young now is taken over for 5th. Halford is just falling further and further back here, but you can see everyone battling on through here. Now here comes the throttle, Chantel Pottle. The 5 now moving on through. She's starting to make some moves here, taking some big jumps. Well, the number 20 of Lance Brandt, of Jeffrey Oakes, and the Budweiser number 20, and the 3 of Lance Brandlinger still at it here. Oh, put it on the wall there. He gets it off though. Stays out of trouble this time by. We know Brandlinger can get aggressive here, and you know he'll battle hard for this one. He's looking into the 20s inside line. He's trying to get that front corner panel up to the front of the rear panel there of Oakesy, I should say. Carry him on through and around. Here they go. They are still at odds with one another. Here they battle him on by. We have now reached the halfway point. And don't look now, but here comes the Rattlesnake. Oh, and Pendle right into the wall out of turn 4. That opened the door wide open to Robert the Rattlesnake Kahn. Now he has taken his place and taken his spot on the spotlight here. What a pass on by, and what a maneuver that took there to get it situated through. The Rattlesnake has made his presence felt and made his moves well known. But I beg the question, how much is it a long-term strategy? Because it looks like Pendle might have burnt his tires in a little too much. Now he's having so much trouble to keep that car in line here. And by the looks of it, in my opinion, Atkins is starting to actually make some headway here. He's starting to get some counts going here. Atkins starting from the back now. The current points leader right now is desperately trying to hang in this one and trying to build up some momentum and carry him on through here. All drivers doing that they can here, building them on around, keeping them going here. Everyone's still looking for position. You got the two females, Cindy and Chantel, up in the front right now, and a lot of folks have asked me already, hey, wait a minute, where is McCarthy at? Well, McCarthy right now currently out of town and a little bit busy, so we couldn't unfortunately get her to come on by this night, but we do wish you nothing but the best there, Pride of Texas. We hope you're doing okay out there. Three of Lance Brantlinger starting to make some headway here, trying to get some momentum to carry on through to catch up to Chantel. The throttle is starting to tame it down a little bit, trying to keep that car steadied out and let it run on through. You can see when they get burnt up, those tires are just an absolute handful to deal with. And these cars right now are an even worse handful to deal with. They bring it on through here now, side by side. Coming around, looked like Brantlinger had a chance there. Couldn't quite get the front corner panel up ahead of that rear corner panel. But this time around, looks like that's going to all change for him as he brings it on through here at a turn 4. Now it's going to be the throttle's turn to try to take this one back away from him. He goes up in the middle line there, tries to apex it off that bottom line, gets a nice jump there and stays with it. Take a look at this now, the 13 Gravedigger machine of Cooper Rollins. Having a little bit of fun here with that 8,999 of Ian Yeager. Yeager bringing it on through here out of turn 4 here, still doing his own run, still doing what he can to stay in this one. Back on around they go here out of turn 1, back down now into first. Here they go here, Rollins. Kind of in the back of the pack right now, just kind of hanging in there for what he can, just doing what he needs to do. And as you look right here in the turn 1, back end turn 2, here comes Jeffrey Oakes. Looks like he saved his tires up a little bit there, trying to get ahead there of Chantel. The throttle is in trouble of being passed on by here. Has admitted to me and everyone else before that she's more of a dirt track racer, but I can tell you one thing, there's one thing you don't mess with, it's her when she's on the track. She will put everything to its limit and put the pedal to the metal when time comes. There's no doubt about that. She's definitely got the correct mindset how to run dirt and asphalt, but I would say another strength of hers is really running on road courses. She's a pretty tough gal when it comes to those things. So with Cindy Taylor here. I'll tell you one thing about Cindy here, man. She right now, as you see him coming on around, she's hard to beat on asphalt. I was running with her a while back, and I had troubles keeping up with her in the truck series. She always gave me a hard lick and a hard knock or two, and would never give me any chances to win. But that just kind of shows you the mindset and driving style that she possesses. She's just very good at that. The Rattlesnake Robert Kahn has still got a race lead ahead of everybody here and still has a pretty good position on around, continuing his momentum and continuing his dominance as he continues it through here on the back straightaway. Can Jonathan Big Smoke Atkins start to catch up a little bit here and bring it on through? Remember what I said earlier, folks, about that first run being kind of all over the place, not trying, drivers kind of figuring out what to do? Well, I think I proved my point here because now the drivers are finally situated out here and starting to get this one figured around here for this late run. Offering out the inside line, the 999 of Ian Yeager gives him a chance here. Whoa! Could have been disastrous there for the 84, but he holds it on through. Side by side, they take it here on around out of turn 2. Here they go, the Fat Boy 999 trying to get up to the Red Bull number 84. Cooper Rollins in the 13 still with a pretty good spot here, currently in the 11th right now. And speaking of the 11th, Warren Young in the top 10 right now to end that round out. Let's go on board here with Dustin Rouse in that 30 machine, see what we got going on for him here. As you can see, as he works it on through here at turn 3 and 4, you can see that he's definitely had those tires burnt up a little bit more because of how loose, not how loose, but how tight, I should say, the car is starting to get here. Really hanging in there for what he's got, doing all he can to stay in this one. Both drivers building them on through. Now Keith Taylor starting to make some headway here and starting to get something going here. Taylor looking at the inside there. Chantel, the throttle opens the door up, and just like that, that's all it took to make the move and the pass on by. Through they go here now. Keith Taylor has taken over for the 7th spot as the rest of our field works them on in. No driver to be had and no driver to quit here. Here we're still focusing in on our drivers right now. It looks like Jeffrey Oaks and the 20 machine is still giving it what he can here to hang into this one. Joey King has joined us on into the chat. Welcome, Joey King. Hope you're enjoying so far. Right around they go here out of turn 1, back down in the inside here. Oaksy gonna do battle here with Pendle. Pendle to the outside, holds it on in. Jeffrey Oaks and that 20 Budweiser machine is starting to make some big moves and some big changes here. He takes over for the 4th slot right now. Might be playing into the strategy here. Might be playing the pit road here as Dustin Rouse has to go in pit side to get some gas and tires here. I'll tell you one thing right now, man. These tires are burnt to a crisp and they are gone. But nobody is giving up and nobody is going to give any chances up. If it means being a winner here tonight, Cindy, the closer, Taylor's made her pass on by around the 17 of Jonathan Atkins once again here. There is a lot going on for these drivers, and a lot going down in their mindsets right now. And Atkins looks like he's starting to slow up on pace as Matthew Hopper currently 3 laps down after going to pit side here. He's starting to lose momentum here, and now Atkins has to go in pit side as well as Robert Kahn goes in. Well, that leaves Cindy Taylor out there for a little longer. I'm going to be very interested to see how well this plays out here for her. She will have the race lead here, and now she is currently got Matthew Hopper, that 84 kind of pushing up on her here a little bit. We'll see if she goes in pit road here, because if she does, I think this will be a smart time to do it. Hopper trying to stay in line, trying to stay in position. Looks like Cindy's got to stay out a little longer now than the boys. Get a look at the drivers in the chat. Go to the broadcast right now. You see the 999 of Ian Yeager was in there, and now the 17 of Jonathan Atkins going at pit side here, and the 47 there of Robert Kahn is going to beat each other out here. They'll get them out now. Looks like tires are going on. Atkins will get the run off. Looks like Robert Kahn getting a lot more fuel than he wants to here. I think, in all honesty, this is just all part of strategy here for him. As they bring him on around, here we go yet again now. Atkins is back out on the track here, but Hofford and Cindy Taylor have already passed him on by here. Now look at this, Atkins trying to make a big move around Hofford. Hofford has to get off the throttle a little bit to save that one. Cindy Taylor lets him by there, or does she? Going out on the outside line. Woo, that could have been disastrous there, but they held it clear and they held it out of trouble. On around they go to the back straightaway. That is now Hofford in the 84 making his big moves, making his runs when he needs to. Staying in the moment, staying on top of things. He's running them hard, he's running them good. But Cindy Taylor has taken over that lead, and so has Jeffrey Oaks. And how about this? Chantel the Throttle Pottle currently in 3rd right now. Might be trying to play that long-term strategy game again. She did it back at Myrtle Beach. Jeffrey Oaks also trying to do the same thing. But the thing is that happened there is that both drivers unfortunately went a little too long, and that opened the door up for Mr. Robert Kahn to steal away with that one here and take that position just like Warren Young did here on the inside line out of the front straightaway around Jeffrey Oaks in that 20 machine. All drivers working on through here, 34 laps to go in this one here. Everybody's still dealing with pit road strategy, dealing with everything else. Lance Brantley here brings it on back in the 3. As the 30, and Dustin Rouse makes his pass on by. Cooper Rollins now in the 3rd spot. Atkins a lap down. Chantel's back in pit road here. We'll see what goes down for these guys. 33 laps left to go in this one. Pit strategy is going to be a big thing here. It's going to be a big spot. We'll see how well that plays out. Brandlinger swings it on down out of turn 2 there. Makes his move around the 13 of Rollins, and Ian Yeager now trying to catch back up here. Robert Kahn is 3 laps down. Which right now to me is hard to believe, but it's the truth. I gotta believe he was trying to play a long-term strategy run there, and maybe just did not quite go the way he wanted to. Cindy, the closer Taylor, now has to go in pit side here. That may open the door up to a whole can of worms here. We're not sure here. You get a good look at our monster mile track here, though. This is a elongated track and a long stretch of road. I always like to consider this really a longer version of Bristol Motor Speedway. That's the way I always was kind of looking at it, with some hills and turns in there that honestly just kind of make it more interesting as you see the 6 machine. Christopher No Shift, don't call it. Bendel getting around there from Robert, but Robert the Rattlesnake car in that 47 machine makes a nice pass on around there out of turn 2 and gets his big run there when he needs it. Robert now down the inside line yet again, trying to make his move about there around Pendle, trying to get his laps back. Everybody 4th on back is a lap down at the moment. Cindy pitted there, and Rollins right now has stayed out. Cindy's here, there's going to be a lap down now, and that could definitely spell trouble for her because Atkins has stayed on around. He's really trying to play a strategy run here. Rodney Christensen has joined us on in, joined us here. It's good to have you on board here, sir. Ian Yeager doing everything he can to stay ahead of the trouble zone. What's going forward here with Atkins? Getting word from the radio command, he did not take as much fuel as everybody else did, so he's actually got 4 tires and a little bit less fuel than everyone else. Getting word that they told him that flat out, like, if we want to get this run down right, you've got to start really focusing on holding your line, holding the spot out. And boy, howdy, it's just working right now for him. Ross into the wall there. You see him kind of climbing up on the top there. Gets out of the way there at 17 of Atkins, getting out of trouble and out of territory. Ross able to save it. As you see now, Lance Brantlinger starting to get closer and closer to unfamiliar territory for him here. It could be lapped on by here. That would be the top 5 laps. If Atkins can stay ahead of the curve here and stay ahead of position. Robert Kahn is now starting to close the gap on being lapped around, but he's still quite a bit of ways here. Lance Brandlinger in the top 5 right now. Jeffrey Oaks, that's the play machine, still hanging on for what he can here. There's not a lot of battles going on here between the drivers. Mainly because of the strategy and fuel runs here really starting to play into the factor of who's going to be able to outclass the other here. The 20 of Jeffrey Oaks now holds it on through here, coming on by. Round and round we go here in the back straightaway. They are still at odds with one another. Neither driver wanting to quit, neither one wanting to give, as Warren Young in the 11 now has to come back with the 47 of Robert Kahn. These two definitely have some a lot of love and respect for one another, but they are always willing to put up a fight and put up a good show here when they need to. The 11 of Warren Young now to the outside line, gives up that spot. The 7 is sending the closer Taylor closing in. Now, I gotta be honest right now, other than Atkins and Pendle, I think honestly Cindy's probably been the more clever when it comes to strategy wise and how she's been running it here tonight. She's not too far out of the hunt and she's not burning up those tires as much as everybody else is here. And really has been staying ahead of the curve game here a little bit. 23 laps left in this one. There's not a lot of time to be had to make mistakes here. Keith Taylor in the 8 machine, man, he's just, I'll tell you one guy that, in my opinion, has not been having the season he's been looking for, and that's Checkmate Taylor, man. He has been dealing with that car troubles, dealing with the issues, dealing with the demons that keep plaguing him every time out. And he told me earlier today, I'm just going to go out there and have fun today. I'm tired of trying to deal with everything there. I'm tired of just kind of forcing it on myself to try to actually do everything that goes down. So I'm hoping now I can finally start building up something and hopefully get a good run out of it. As they carry him on around, 21 laps left to go in this one here. This is looking to be more and more like Atkins to lose, but you know, again, Christopher No Shit Don't Fall Fit Pendle, he is no pushover. Rollins down the outside, Atkins going inside line. Nice pass on the lap car there. Brantlinger staying ahead of the curve here, though. He's staying ahead there of Atkins. Same with Sean Self as well. Bottle there for 5. Where they go here on the round out of turn 4. Now it looks like Oaksy going to try to pull a daily double on both of them here. Robert goes to the outside, now back on in. We got to make a move around Warren Young, and look at Oaksy make a huge pass. That's why he is in 4th right now. He made a jump and a half around Robert Kahn and Warren Young there. Nice pass by Jeffrey Oaks. What a move. Round and around we go here at turn 4. They bring him on by yet again. Our field still working him on in. Warren Young looks like he might be getting a little hard on the throttle here, a little bit hard on himself. Through we go here, 18 laps left of the distance here. And Cindy, the closer Taylor, is starting to close in on Atkins here. She has never won on PTM Racing TV, at least for a race-wise. She's won a season championship, but she's never won anything else. The 5 there, Chantel makes a big pass on around there, makes her move and makes it well done to be had there. The 20 of Jeffrey Oaks still hanging on for what it's worth here, doing everything he can to get it going here. The Budweiser 20 there, Jeffrey Oaks in the 4th right now. Still hanging in there. This is very similar, reminiscent to the win he got in US International Speedway, the last race of that Street Stock Series, where everyone kind of ran their line, ran their area, but they burned them up and they burned it too quick, and unfortunately gas came out and they lost tires, and they had to end up going in pit road, which opened the door for him to get that race winning and finally end his curse. Right now, speaking of one driver who just wants to end this curse, it's definitely this one right here, Cindy the Closer Taylor. Let's go on board here with her. You can see her really running that line there, really running her spot up. Out of turn 2 she goes. Using her brother as a little bit of help to kind of get back on a draft and some momentum to carry off of. You're going to notice right there, though, you see that big little hill there, the little ridge. That's where we're talking about earlier when it comes to troublesome area. Ian Yeager has to back off, stay out of the way there. Nice turn and move there. Look at the daily double coming for Cindy. She makes a big jump on around, man. I'll tell you one thing, she just does not quit when it comes to these races. She always finds a way to battle hard and figure this out. Big Smoke, Jonathan Atkins, has about 12 laps to complete after this time by. He's starting to stay away a little bit more from Cindy here, but Miss Taylor is not out of this yet. All it takes is one hiccup, one little mistake, and it could be all hers. But Jonathan Atkins right now is desperately just trying to stay ahead of this one. A reminder, though, next week, though, we will not be broadcasting. We will be taking Thanksgiving week off. But we will have broadcasts as well still, so don't worry. We have more drivers that will be broadcasting for us, so you'll have your fix. It just won't be from pedal to metal in this case. And tomorrow night, well, I've got a special surprise for you guys. We have a new league in town, a new sheriff, if you will, in the league series coming on around. That at least that's what they told me to call him as. It's Pure Elite. It's Pure Speed Elite Series. The PSES guys are coming to you tomorrow night for their Truck Series event, and we start them off on a track that I think we're all too familiar with at this point, Daytona International Speedway. You aren't gonna want to miss that one. It comes tomorrow night. Be here. We're ready for you guys. 10 laps to go here out of turn 2 here. Right on around out of turn 3, back out in turn 4 here. Now Matthew Hoffert trying to make his move around there. The 47 of Robert Kahn. I'm honestly just not sure what was the strategy there for Robert to take the fuel he did and what he did with that car. Because to me, Atkins played a much stronger area and a much stronger race here. And I think right now the reason why you're seeing so much speed losing on Atkins is because Cindy is starting to really hard charge her way back up. Atkins at this point is kind of laying low on fuel, trying to stay ahead of the curve here. This can get interesting, folks. We'll see if she's able to get that jump that she's looking for. We're on board here with her brother, Keith Taylor, though. Whoa, right into the wall goes Cindy. She has to get off of that. She gets the need, but that just lost her a lot of time to be had. All that time and ground gained, lost within just one little corner. It's easy to do here, folks. It's easy to mess up, and that's why short track racing, in my opinion, is the hardest to master of all racing series. Because you can have moments like that and have nights like that where it just costs you big time. Big Smoke, Jonathan Atkins right now. He's just running his line and running his way, his own style. This is not even close right now. 6 laps left. I think we're not going to be seeing the bounty hole be collected tonight. I think Atkins is definitely going to run his mouth and get away with it here. Round they go out of turn 3, back on in. They'll swing him on by out of turn 4. Rantlinger looking to stay out of the way of Atkins, I should say. And that's definitely the case. Atkins has got 5 laps to go. The flagman holds up 5. Robert Kahn, I gotta be thinking right now, is probably questioning himself, what the heck did I do wrong and why did I do it? Working them on around here, you can see that everyone's still doing their own thing here, and Cooper Rollins in that 13 machine. Pretty good onboard camera here as you see the rest of our field working on by. Tires are just gone, man. The cars are just gone right now on those tires. They're just not able to hold out anymore. There goes off for the inside line there around Rouse, and Dustin Rouse opens the door up for him. Offer like a thief in the night, sneaks on by, makes his move. I think right now, I'll be honest with you, the teammates of Cindy and Keith right now, the brother and sister, I should say, not teammates if you will. I think Cindy right now is asking her brother for a little help. Try to get a draft going to catch up to Atkins, but it seems to be working. Problem is Atkins is so far ahead that it really doesn't matter at this point, but you know, those brother and sister ain't gonna just let each other get away with that one so easily. That's definitely not gonna be the case. 2 to go now this time by Jonathan Atkins, Big Smoke. In my opinion, all has sealed this one up if he can finish it by. Down the back straight away we go. Here they're working them on through here. 1 more lap to go. Out of turn 4, here we go. White flag has been traded in from the green. Atkins looking to possibly clinch another win and another berth at winning himself the championship this season. On around out of the back straight away they go. Here they'll bring him on through. On around out of turn 3, back into turn 4. Once again, folks, he'll swing it on around. Jonathan Big Smoke Atkins is going to be your race winner here at Dover. Second place will be Cindy the Closer Taylor in the 7. Third will go to Jeffrey Oakes in the 24th, to Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pendle in the 6th machine. And then the 5 of Lance Brandley, rounding out your top 5 here tonight. A good showcase for our drivers. The first half, as we mentioned before, wouldn't go in the way that everyone was expecting or they wanted to go. But the later half definitely showed what pedal to metal can do. But tonight, this man right here in that custom works IndyCar 17 of Jonathan Big Smoke Atkins once again takes a nice little trip to victory lane. The burnout, to say the least, and the burnout to be had. I can tell you right now, I know that one meant a lot to him. He's got his wife still watching it on through here, and what a race, guys. That was a good show there. It was a good ending for what was going on in that first half. It definitely was what the fans wanted and what the drivers wanted to see, obviously, but what a night and what a show for these guys. Well, guys, I'm heading down to pit side here. I'll talk with you guys in just a minute. I think those tires are officially kaput. So we are waiting right now for our top three to join us. Again, here is your standings here tonight. Atkins first, second, Cindy, the closer Taylor. Big Spoke coming away with another victory. Jeffrey Oaks, old Oaksy in the 20 getting third tonight. Fourth going, of course, to Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle. Lance Brantlinger in the 3 getting 5th. 6th, Keith Taylor. 7th, Dustin Rouse. 8th going to Chantel the Throttle Bottle. 9th to Robert the Rattlesnake Con. 10th to 11 of Warren Young. Ian Yeager in the 11th. 12th to Matthew Hoffert. Cooper Rollins 13th. And Dustin Sonaker in the 66th, rounding out 14th. And Shane Ledoux blew the motor and ended up having to go in to the end of this one. All right, he's joined us in now, folks. This is Big Smoke, Jonathan Atkins, once again returning to victory lane in another victory here in the ARCA series. And I know this one meant a lot to you, considering your short track mishap back in New Smyrna not too long ago, buddy.
Yeah, had a fast car all day. Really, really fast short run car, and there were a couple that were faster on the long run. Put a little pit strategy and pitted a few laps early on that last run, and it helped. So.
I mean, I was asking about that kind of in the comments section here, and I was having a hard time figuring out like what your strategy was. Like if you took just a couple tires or some fuel and enough fuel to get by, but I mean, for the most part, it looked like your strategy worked out perfectly there. I mean, was there anything else that you would have seen differently if there wasn't so many cautions tonight?
I mean, I think it would have worked out either way. Probably would have taken less tires in the beginning, but I got caught in a couple of wrecks and came in and took tires. And then, like I said, that last run, I took 4, but I think I got a pretty good pit road entry. And Archon got a speeding penalty, and then Cindy stayed out 5 or 6 laps longer than I did. It killed her. I had like a 15-second lead when she came back out of pit road. So.
Well, that explains what happened to Robert there. We were trying to figure out why he was in pit road so long, but I mean, nonetheless here, definitely worked to your advantage and kept you in the clearing for a race win here tonight. So Atkins, I got to ask you, man, who do you want to thank here for this one?
I want to thank Little Indy RC Speedway and Sticky Icky and my smoking hot wife.
I was about to say your smoking hot wife was joining us on in here quite a bit tonight, so I think she's definitely appreciated that tonight. But nevertheless here, bud, congratulations here on another great finish, and congratulations on your race win.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Atkins, Big Smoke, the 17, your race winner here tonight. All right, I guess since Cindy, the closer Taylor, still doesn't want to talk with us, we're going to talk with Jeffrey Oaks here in the 20 machine. And Jeffrey, once again, another trip, another pit stop into the podium here. But I can definitely tell in the look in your eye and your heart on Thursday night, you wanted that one badly. And now tonight you got a pretty good finish here, but I can definitely tell you wanted another win in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't want to win? That's what we strap in and do this for, is the wins. But to walk away with a 3rd place finish, pretty happy with that. It's pretty crazy. Had some issues with my wheel right from the gate. Qualified 4th. For once, I qualified good, and I didn't even get to start there. But
I mean, it's still, though, for what you had to deal with and what everything was going on, you still held out pretty good considering all things considered, and it really worked to your advantage there coming down the wire here. Was there anything you would have done differently, though, with this race?
No, I think track position. I think I just needed to be up there restarting in the top 5 or 6 with those guys. Because by the time everything burned in, my car, I think I probably had the fastest car in the long run. It was close with Cindy. So no, I feel I ran a great race. A couple mistakes here and there, but that's racing, I guess. So happy to walk away 3rd, like you said, all things aside.
Yeah, absolutely indeed. Well, nonetheless here, it was a good race and a good finish here. So who do you want to thank here for this podium finish, my friend?
I want to thank my wife, my family for the support. Matt Mills Racing, Pottlez Wrapz, Bob's Custom Trophies, PTM Racing TV, Mid-City Air Conditioners. Everybody makes this league go around. It's such a fun league. Finally getting the finishes we deserve. Let's go. Let's go to the next one.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, nevertheless, here, congratulations here on another finish here. It was a real well-fought race and a long, hard battle. Congratulations again, buddy.
I appreciate you up there in the booth, buddy.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher, I should say, Jeffrey Oaks, Old Oaksy in the number 20. And that'll wrap it up here tonight, guys. But again, special thanks to all our sponsors here at Matt Mills Racing, Mid-Cities Air Conditioning and Heating, Affordable SEO and Marketing, Amber's Floral Creations, Bob's Custom Trophies Incorporated, and Gifts and Decorations. Of course, obviously supplying up our trophies for this season. SimRacingMerch.com. And Pottlez Wrapz for sponsoring up this season. And for all the drivers here, I have been your host here tonight for Pedal the Metal Racing League. I am Christian the Crusader Shriver signing out for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night for our special edition to showcase to you guys at home these guys right here, the Pure Speed Elite Series, the PSEIA Racing guys are coming out tomorrow night for the first time. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you next time right here when the green flag flies on PTM Racing TV. Be safe. God bless. Take care. Good night, everybody.